Yo, what's going on guys? In this video I am going to show you the best keyboard and mouse settings for aim, piece control, max FPS. If you enjoy content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button for super consistent uploads. It's free and it literally takes 1 second. My creator code is Aubrisk. If you have your game open, make sure to put that in. You should always have your game on full screen mode as it does give you the most frame rates and it does give you the lowest input delay. 1920 by 1080 is the best resolution in my opinion as it does give you the most amount of FOV. I cap my FPS at 165 as I do have a 144Hz monitor. However, if you do have a 240Hz monitor, make sure to cap your FPS at 240 FPS. Now my brightness isn't 120 FPS because I feel like it looks better for content and I do like my game looking this bright. At this moment in time I do have Triton Up 8 on, but it does start to strain my eyes, so I do notice that having it off is a little better for me. Now the reason I have Triton Up 8 on is because my game looks a little dull without it. Especially because chapter 3 there's not really too much bright colours as there was in the previous seasons. My 3D resolution is on 100%, however if you're struggling to get a lot of frames on 100%, cap that at 86% lowest. It does give you a little fuzzier feel of the game. I do notice that the game runs a lot smoother with this setting turned on. And the graphics still look pretty decent. I'm not really noticing too much, especially while building and editing. When I stand still I can start to notice it a little bit. Yeah, if you are struggling to get FPS on 100%, make sure to just go down to 86%. It should fix that for you. Now my view distances are near and my textures are on low. This will give me the most FPS. However, I have heard when you have your textures on medium or high, it allows the GPU to work more than the CPU, which will sort of balance out your PC's load. Now VSync I have turned off, Show FPS I have turned on, and obviously I have performance mode on. Toggle sprint I have off, sprint by default I have on, sprint cancels reloading I have off, and auto open doors I have on. Now the reason I have auto open doors is whenever I'm typing or whenever I'm freebuilding and accidentally open a door, it's absolutely fine because I can just run straight through it. Auto swap pickup I have on, toggle targeting I have off, mark danger when targeting on, auto pickup weapons I have off because I don't like to run over weapons and they pick up instantly. However, I do know for controller players that let's say you're racing a keyboard and mouse player who has scroll or reset, it might be a little bit easier for you to pick up the weapon instantly while you have that setting turned on rather than you just spamming your pickup bind. Now I'll show you my preferred item slots. I have shotgun in the first slot, I have assault rifle in the second slot, snipers and bows in the third slot, utility in the fourth slot, and consumables in the fifth slot. Reset building choices I have on, disable pre-edit option I have on. You do have this setting turned off, it does give you a little more fighting options. So let's say you want to take somebody's wall, you do that. You see this all the time in comp. People do this all the time. They take somebody's wall and then they instantly place their own, which is already built like this, so they have the advantage and they have the surprise factor. Turbo building I have on, obviously. Confirm edit and release I have off. Now I've been on confirm edit and release for like 2 seasons now and I'm fully used to it. I can literally do everything I could do on edit and release on before. As you can see, my building and editing is still pretty fast. That's because I put a lot of time into building and editing once I switched. A lot of people make the switch and then they don't put enough time into building and editing and then they complain why they aren't as fast as they were on confirm edit and release on. But yeah, confirm edit and release off is 100% better than confirm edit and release on. Just because it allows you to basically have perfect crosshair placement. Let's say somebody is right here stood on this little section here and you're trying to hit them after doing a peanut butter edit. You can stand here and literally look at them before you confirm the edit and then shoot. With confirm edit and release, you're literally looking up here, confirming the edit, and then turning around like this. It's not good. It's not going to be good for your crosshair placement, and it's going to develop some bad habits. Even for simple edits like this, you can literally look at the enemy while you're confirming, and then peek properly. Also, when you do this peek, you can crouch underneath the half wall before you confirm the edit, and put your crosshair on the character, and then edit and shoot. It's so much better than confirm edit and release. If you haven't switched to it, you should probably switch to it right now. However, feel free to stay on the same settings that you have. You can get good on confirm edit and release. Obviously, like there's so many pros that are still on confirm edit and release and it doesn't really make a difference for them. That's because their mouse control is insane. So you might have to just put a bit more time into your mouse control if you do decide to stay on confirm edit and release. It's not the end all be all, however, confirm edit and release off will give you a bit more options and a bit better crosshair placement. Now have record replays on. If you have them off, it does give you a little more FPS. However, having them on will give you that video like game sense. Video had these on and he literally looked at his VODs every time he died. Made sure he learned from them because learning from failure is the best way to learn. He learned from all his failures, all of his mistakes, and became one of the best fighters in the world. So I would recommend having record replays on. Now we're done for this page. We're going to go down to HUD scale. I'd recommend having that at 90 to 100%. I'm actually going to turn mine up to 100% because my mini map, I want to see where I'm going during end games. I want to see where the zone is quicker and I want to just be able to have a bigger visual representation of everything on my screen. So I would keep that at 100%, 90% maximum, 90% minimum. Don't have it too small, otherwise you won't be able to see your minimap properly. People have it on like 33%, and they literally can't see anything. How are you going to see where the zone's going in endgame? You're going to have to literally pull out your map every single time. Now I use 1600 DPI right now. I'm still on 6.2%, but I use 1600 DPI, and that is because pixel skipping, and apparently if you do use a higher DPI, your mouse will basically reduce its input delay as it has more pixels on the screen to work with. Now there have been some studies to prove this actual theory, however it's not a big deal if you have 800 or 400 DPI, but I just would recommend it's a simple switch. It's not going to change too much in the game. It will just help you, it will just give you a little more smoothness in game and defeat all the pixel skipping. The game does feel a little smoother, a little more responsive when I have 1600 DPI other than 400 and 800. However, it's not a massive deal. Like, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. But yeah, I do use 3.1%. If I was on 800 DPI, this would be 6.2%. Now, in my opinion, 6.2% is the god sensitivity. Like, I'm never going to switch off 6.2%, I don't think. I recommend 800 DPI, anything from 4.7% to around 12% is a very good sweet spot. Like, I would not recommend going any higher than 12% on 800 DPI or any lower than 4.7%. But for you lot that find it really difficult to find the sensitivity, I would recommend 6.2%. I'd recommend trying 7%, which is literally a lot of pros use 7%. Rezon uses 7%. I recommend trying 10% also for you higher sensitivity players. And then also, Benji swears that 8.8% is the god sensitivity, so I'd recommend trying that out as well. But yeah, just fiddle around with your sensitivity a little bit. It is the start of the season. There's no really rush to find the perfect sensitivity, but once you have found your perfect sensitivity, stick to that at all costs. Don't keep changing it, and try and build as much muscle memory on that sensitivity as you can. And if you do want those mongrel beams, I'd recommend having your targeting sensitivity at a very low sensitivity, so you can use your full arm while you're aimed in. It will make it way easier to aim than having a high targeting sensitivity or having a 1-to-1 targeting sensitivity. Now for controller settings, I do recommend 43%. This is Days and Miro's sensitivity. They love this sensitivity, they swear by it. And also a 2.1 build mode sensitivity. Miro uses the sensitivity. If you don't like that, try 1.8 or 1.9. But yeah, 43, it's a middle point. It's pretty low. It's very good for aim. It's very good for piece control. As you can see by Day and Miro, they are the two best controller players in the game right now. Now also, if you do want to try reach sensitivity, that is 50% look horizontal speed, and that is 60% look vertical speed. Now Reet is insane, so if you do want to copy his sensitivities, I would recommend that also. Now sound quality, I'll put that to low. It does give you more FPS. 3D headphones I have off, background audio I have notifications only, visual sound effects I have off, but visual sound effects on is very good now. It gives you the same sounds as usual, but it also puts sound on your screen. You can see where people are from miles away. Even if you can't hear them in game, it will still show up if someone's opening a chest, if someone's walking next to you but you can't hear them, someone's underneath you, on top of you. It's a very good setting to have on. Sound in this game isn't the best. Now I do use routing double movement, so I don't have anything for these. And I'm just going to show you my settings really quickly. These are my building settings. The rest of them don't really matter. But if you are on keyboard and mouse, just make sure that you are using scroll wheel reset. It's literally one of the most important settings. If you're not using that, you're falling behind. Now for the double movement settings, on advanced mode, I would recommend having strafing to 87%. It allows you to slide while also keeping your... It allows you to slide while also looking literally to the left. You can look all directions while sliding. It's incredible for tarping as well. As you can see, you will be able to literally tarp in all directions. That's going to be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to like, comment, subscribe.